Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Ayla's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indy. Woo! IU. America. They got a football team now.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, here's Jim Coyle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This one special edition, as we are trying to make them all special. But today we are coming to you live from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia, site of this year's Peach Bowl. Well, site of the Peach Bowl every year. But this year it is also the college football semifinal. One of the semifinal rounds. It will feature the number 1 Indiana Hoosiers and the number 5 Oregon Ducks. For those of you following on YouTube, you can see the great background behind me, very colorful and lit up. And for all of our other peeps, appreciate you, no matter where, how you're listening on one of the great stations like 97.7 ESPN, The Ref, always the right call, in Evansville in Southwest Indiana. Up in the region on the voice of the region, 1230 a.m., 104.7 FM WJOB. And in Fort Wayne, on Fort Wayne's only sports station, 1380 The Fan. And, of course, in hometown Bloomington on 98.7 The Zone, where you can keep it locked every day on these stations for great sports content. Like that we're going to be bringing you today, as a matter of fact. Here at the College Football Hall of Fame, while the show is going on, we'll be joined by Yeoman Brown. He is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the College Football Hall of Fame. You know, this used to be in South Bend, Indiana, so, you know, I guess some Indiana people from up north may not like that, but I got to tell you, this is a beautiful place. It is spectacular. It's where it should be. It's in the, relative middle of a lot bigger part of the country. Great facility. It's worth coming to. I'll tell you that. It's just incredible. And so looking forward to talking to Yeoman Brown. Also on the program today, everybody's been asking about, after Signetti, of course, as well said, it'd make a hell of a movie. Well, who would you think of that would make a movie like that? Oh, yeah, Angelo Pizzo on the program today. Bloomington native and current resident will be on with us as well. So looking forward to that as well. And not sure what all we're going to end up getting on here. We'll hear from Aiden Fisher. We'll hear from Fernando. We'll hear from D'Angelo Pons. Had media availability last night as soon as the teams got in. I mean, they literally landed and had to, not all of them, but there was like 4 team members that were at the stadium for a media availability last night. And then it was supposed to be Oregon first and then Indiana. Then it got switched, and it was switched like 3 times. And it was, it is what it is. But wow, what a beautiful facility. It's incredible. Man, Coach Griff is going to be with us in and out today as well, joining us on the program right now. Coach, hey. You're up north in Fort Wayne. You're going to have to get down to the ATL and visit this facility. Pretty cool. Just as you can see, just from behind me here, this is just one wing. Look over to my right. It says the early years kickoff, tailgating the early years. Oh yeah, that's great. There's just one of the some old school truck they got over there that's what they're calling tailgating from the early days. Looks like one of them old Andy Griffith milk trucks. from back in the day. But yeah, when you first walk into the College Football Hall of Fame, you're greeted with this massive wall of helmets for every school in college football. So that's cool. Press conferences going on today between the head coaches. That will happen while we're on, and we won't hear that on here, but we'll have that for you later. But I'm not sure what else can be said if we're being honest. Last night we had the media availability, and if you could get them one-on-one, you could ask some things maybe differently. But the what sucks is not only do you not get them one-on-one, this is probably the absolute worst scenario because there's 1,000 people here that have not been around them. So they're trying to get to them as well. And yeah, it's just difficult to do that in that scenario. But looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, let's get Fernando was asked, Pat Forty, he's been on with us from Sports Illustrated, asked Fernando about him and Alberto trolling people, teammates, being trolls. You know, you don't think of Fernando as being a troll, but maybe let's hear what Fernando had to say.
This week, you're a bit of a troll. So you and Alberto both are a bit of trolls. What exactly does that mean? To needle people?
Yeah, I would say we like to joke around. Yeah. We like to joke around, and it might not always be in such a, jokingly way. Like, for example, if I see Carter Smith, which he pushes so much weight, the guy's like he's so strong. If I see him, doing 350 on whatever, on squat, or 400 on squat, like, hey, man, you can have 5 pounds on that. That looks light. And just like little jabs and jokes. I would say it's a really good culture where we all jab and joke at each other. It's like what good friends do. And so we have a really, so we'll throw jabs at each other, and I think that's what he means by that.
Fernando, your offensive line has been getting a lot of love. How much of an impact can they make for you guys coming up on Friday?
I think the best thing that's happened to this team, especially after the Rose Bowl game, was Pat Coogan getting the Rose Bowl MVP. Thank you, Mr. Herbstreit, again for getting Pat Coogan the MVP, because it has jolted our offensive line and given him, they've really been the unsung heroes as our run game has set up everything in our pass game. And essentially, they're the only reason our offense is good. Just plain as it is. I could seem, all humble about it, but it truly is the truth. And having an offensive line, get that award and get that recognition and praise has helped us so much, as it's really helped them not only play as a unit, but it's also felt them, feel appreciated, not just from inside the building, from outside the building. So I think it's been great for them, and I'm really happy to see it.
That was that wins a lot of accolades from the offensive line when you hear your quarterback talking like that, and he means it, and it is true. This team is kicking the crap out of everybody. First of all, because, and I've been mentioning this the last couple of days, because it's phenomenal. Kalon Black is like 12 yards shy of 1,000 yards, I think. He'll be their second 1,000-yard rusher this season. You also have Fernando, who has leading the nation in touchdown passes. So how in the hell are you going to deal with an offense that's got 2,000-yard rushers and a quarterback that leads the country in touchdown passes and an offensive line that's not letting him get sacked?
Yeah, they've been playing pretty dominant football here towards this part of the year at the right time. They had their struggles when they had some nicks and bruises and, guys banged up, and everybody was worried about the break being something that would, hinder this team. It helped it immensely with the ability to get guys healthy.
I don't think anything hinders this team anymore. I truly don't. I think that they are so mentally locked into what they're doing, because not only, you mentioned the break, 25 days off, and then you're going to have 3 games inside of 19 days.
Yeah.
The 3 toughest games you're ever going to play, which, that's stupid. We all know that. But, this team is so freaking locked in, it doesn't matter. Then you add on top the amount of media that they've had to do. I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's a lot for us. Once you get to this level, the Rose Bowl, it's like boom, 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 boom. It's every day for this Peach Bowl. It started, I think Saturday. There were head coaches Zoom pressers. Then it started. I can't remember if it was, I think it was Monday. We had media with the team and an open practice, more media on Tuesday. We get here, or I got here Wednesday, and a lot of us did late last night. Media last night, boom, here we are again the next day. It goes, this is all that there is today, though. But then I don't think that there's anything else. That leaves tomorrow as game day. So you kind of get it out of the way, but
especially for a guy like Sig, who very seldom lets anybody discuss or talk other than himself,
which is great. And you know what? I almost asked either Mike Shanahan or Brian or both that last night. That you guys usually aren't talking to the media, and you've talked more in 2 weeks than you have in 2 years.
That's right.
It's no joke either.
It isn't. And Sig, I mean, that again goes back to his Saban days. Nick would not let anybody else talk outside of himself. And you got to respect that. I think you talked about being locked in. That started day one for this squad back in August, being locked in. And they've done it now for 14 weeks where they've been locked and loaded each and every time they stepped on the field between the white lines. And that preparation just doesn't happen overnight. It's a combination from everything they start in their winter conditioning that goes through spring, that goes through fall camp into next season, so forth and so on. And that's one thing that Sig is, I think he's pretty masterful at, in terms of getting the attention of his team and being able to have them focus in and not let the noise be the thing that occupies their minds. Just like you said, the amount of media that has hit the team in a matter of 2 weeks, they're not used to that, because it's very seldom do you have that many guys talking on the stage at one time, let alone straight 2 weeks.
Well, very few are used to it, because normally you don't get to do that much media. So it's actually an honor and a pleasure. So we'll see if they get to do it again next week. So hopefully, that would be incredible. But yeah, looking forward to all of that. And like I said, we're going to have Angelo Pizzo on the show today. It's going to be incredible. And they're setting up right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back on the other side. Appreciate everybody being with us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Back with plenty more right after these messages. Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage, and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. Get more for your money at Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Compared to 3 weeks we had to prepare for Alabama, I would say, but it was a quick turnaround for us. But we definitely had the right mindset with all our veteran guys, I would say, and we're prepared as I said so.
You talked about watching some of that film on the plane. I'm assuming you watched obviously plenty of film this week. What have you guys kind of seen from Oregon's offense? Have you noticed any changes, any tweaks, and how have you guys kind of adjusted throughout this week? What do you think is going to be different?
I would say, I watched a lot of film on Oregon, especially since we played them. They have made a little bit of adjustments with their protection and things like that. I would say they still have great receivers, great quarterback, and stuff like that. But I would say the main difference is their protection, and the receivers haven't changed.
Do you talk much to receivers when you're playing?
That was D'Angelo Ponds there. We'll get back to hear more from him. In addition to Aiden Fisher and Fernando. I have dubbed him the one name Fernando. What else do you need to say? He's got a song.
Oh, man.
Somebody actually asked him last night if he had heard the song, and I wanted to say, dude, you'd have to be under a freaking rock not to have heard of that damn song over the last month, at least.
He's resurrected Abba's career.
What I wonder is there been a bump in royalties on that song, Coach?
I would imagine. I think Abba's probably enjoying the renowned song playing for Fernando, and it's kind of unique, some of the memes and things that have been done over the last 2.5 weeks, to see some of the creativity of people out there in the world that can do that stuff. I mean, it's some of it's just amazing what they do with it, some of the highlights and things of that nature. So yeah, I would imagine Fernando probably needs to get some royalties from that. Better get on his NIL.
I think he's going to be doing fine. I mean,
I think he's doing fine.
Now, I think he's got commercials going.
I know.
And he's very good at them, as you can imagine. So he is going to be a marketer's dream. This guy is going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. He's going to go to Las Vegas. Now, you can get lost in Las Vegas. Even Fernando might be able to get lost in Las Vegas. But still, when you're the quarterback, that's a big profile. And but it's going to be interesting. He's likely going to be the number one pick in the draft, and that means he will likely be going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're going to have a new coach. They got rid of Pete Carroll, which probably because they didn't like what was going on, but also they know that they're going to have this number one pick. They've got this opportunity, and it's going to pair Fernando with Tom Brady, his hero, his mentor, not mentor, but his hero of sorts.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think Tom Brady has already mentioned that they will be taking Fernando, someone may have said, but all that aside, but I'm just talking about, watching his commercials, and this dude, we've all seen it, but he's gotten better as the years gone on. He's just a natural. I mean, a natural, and this guy is going to do a lot of things, but he's going to be a good leader. It looks like that's something that he's done this year. And I think that gets lost in all of the things he's done. You have to be a leader. You've got these Pat Coogan and these guys that, they're as old as you are. They've been in as many wars as you have been, and they're the ones that's saving your butt. But that statement that he made about his O-line, I mean, man, when his O-line hears that, I'm going to have to cut that out individually and tweet that out. when his O-line hears that, that's just even more love. And you can tell when you go back and you watch it, Coach, when they announced the award, that Fernando was actually, I think, the first to react with an arm pump.
Yeah.
And then I think Elijah started jumping and moving toward, and then Fernando, and then everybody just mobbed him. And but for him to say that was the best thing that could have happened to that team, that's got to be really bad news for and then Ole Miss or Miami, whomever. But I got to be honest with you, I don't think it matters. And I hate to say that because you can't, things happen. I understand that. This is sports, man. It doesn't matter. Stuff happens. There are teams that shouldn't have been beaten. Were beat Indiana basketball in 75.
Yeah.
Freak stuff happens, man. But all things aside, all things being equal, this team doesn't lose. They're just better than everybody else. Now, Miami might be the best of what's left. I don't know that, and I'm saying that because of the presence and emergence of that defensive line of the Hurricanes, and because we'll get to that later. But that's a game that's going on tomorrow night or tonight. I'm sorry, hell, it's tonight.
That's
Keep
tonight.
forgetting that, and everybody, maybe even me, is assuming that Miami is going to win that game. But I assumed Georgia was going to win that damn game. And I was like, wait, what?
So did Lane Kiffin. That's why he let those guys come back and coach. And now he's all of a sudden taking guys away. He took 2 coaches away from him in this prep. But you're right. The Ole Miss thing too, they're kind of galvanized by that whole situation. It kind of has been their rally cry of late with everything that has transpired with Kiffin and things of that nature. So, but Indiana, when you talk about Coogan, the leadership that they have on this team spans more than just one position. And that's the uniqueness of guys that have a voice that when they speak, people listen. And in the locker room, that's so important. When Pat Coogan speaks, it's not just the offensive line that listens. It's everybody that listens.
And let me tell you, when the O-line talks, you listen.
Yeah, exactly.
This team has something that I think a lot of teams don't. You'll know much better than me. I don't think it's normal, and by normal, that's not the right word, but customary for there to be so many leaders where there's no stepping on toes. It's all working in concert together. Normally, when you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, it doesn't work out. This is the opposite, man. These guys are just piling on love. What he said. It's like and it's offense defense crossover. That's another thing you don't see. You just don't see that kind of crossover normally. It's usually the offense guys are and the defensive guys are, because it's kind of separate in a way, but this is a completely unified effort. And again, that's part of what makes this incredibly crazy. You were around coaching for so long, and I've been saying this a lot lately. The one thing that every coach spends his career trying to get his team, his unit, his players to do, execute on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
That's it. Just do your job like you're supposed to do it every time. Well, that's not going to happen every time, but if you're doing it 90% of the time, or in that 90 percentile, which you have to be elite, you're going to be successful. If your center's doing that, and your guard's doing that, and your tackle's doing that, and your tight end's doing that, and the wideouts and the running backs and the quarterback, which is damn near impossible. Ask any coach. But this team is doing that. Yeah. I don't know how. That's what how I don't know. I mean, buy-in is everyone's bought in. Okay, yeah, I get that. But why isn't I don't want to say no one else been able to accomplish this, but this is pretty spectacular because, again, you go back, they're doing it with talent that nobody else wanted, that had to be evaluated and found and developed, and then gotten to the point to where they are now. And it's a machine.
Yeah, and it started a year ago with Aiden Fisher and his voice and what they brought from JMU and his branching it out with other guys, and then continued this year with the additions of Coogan and Fernando and others. But the other thing that's been unique about this team is the number of guys that have made plays. They do not just have a singular body or person making all the plays. You talked about Black, you talked about Hemby, you talk about Becker, you talk about Surratt, Cooper. That's what makes this team so tough to defend. And then on defense, you've got guys like, you got Jones, and you've got Tyreek Tucker. You've got Boykin, who probably had his best game in the Rose Bowl. I mean, there's just a multitude of players making plays week in, week out that makes this team very difficult to prepare for, because you just can't say, well, we'll take this away, and they hit you with something else. I mean, Alabama blitzed 52% of the time against Indiana, thinking that was the answer to get pressure on Fernando. Indiana handled it with poise and grace, and they burned them for doing it.
That's something that they didn't do all season and have gotten much better at.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's what cost them last year. They weren't ready for that.
Right.
Ohio State just bum rushed them, and it was over. They just weren't ready. They weren't ready for the moment. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Kurt Signetti was ready for the moment. And I don't mean that negatively.
I got what you're saying.
I think that maybe he didn't anticipate some things. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't matter, because whatever it was, he says, okay, hell no, that ain't happening again. And I mean,
right.
Wow. And now we look at what they're already doing right now while you're in the midst of this. You can't spend any time on the portal. Now you got guys that are doing it to help you. But the great thing is they don't have to do much, Coach. I mean,
No.
it's selling itself right now. You've got guys that are coming to Indiana that I don't know that they've all been reached out to be honest with you. I would bet you some have reached out to Indiana, several.
Oh, I don't think
to
there's any.
make themselves available. And you sent me something earlier that Zach Browning from the Hoosier.com had breaking that yet another commitment to Indiana, a defensive tackle from Tulsa. So I love when they add those. That sounds like Stephen Daly from Kent State.
Yeah.
Just those guys that maybe were overlooked in the beginning, didn't have quite the size yet, needed a little bit. That's probably one of those guys, but you can get the full story at thehoosier.com. And if you want to keep up with everything that is going on with the Hoosiers, coverage of this potential national championship run, as well as everything that is going on with the roster turnover, go to thehoosier.com. You can get it for 50% off right now, in addition to a free year of The Athletic. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Weather's a lot better than it was in Pasadena, Coach.
You're not.
It's a little crazy, and I wish I should have taken before and after pictures of my shoes. I'm wearing the same shoes today. Luckily, I was able to bring an entire suitcase. I didn't pack out of my backpack this time, but so I had an additional pair of shoes this week, not needing them. But last week I was not prepared to be on the field the whole time, and ended up staying down on the field, and it just wrecked a really good pair of shoes. And so I go home and I'm like, damn, and I'm squirting, oxy stuff on them, and because they're grass stained, they're gray Adidas, and I'm put them in the washer, and I'm getting them back out, and I'm scrubbing them, and I'm putting them back in the washer, and sat them in front of a little heater thing for like the whole week. And got them back to life, baby. They look good as new.
That was actually something you hardly able to do in today's world. Get stuff back after you've kind of ruined them.
Especially green,
the
when it's green grass,
yeah.
fresh cut green grass that's soaked in the water.
Yeah. It's
I talked about this yesterday. I sent out immediately after the Rose Bowl last week. I was watching whatever the morning ESPN show it was on. I don't know what it was, but Paul Feinbaum and Cam Newton were kind of on their little corner, and then Ryan Clark, who also is an SEC former LSU player.
LSU, yeah.
And a lot of people say that he normally has bad takes, but anyway, they go off, especially Feinbaum, on how Ohio State's loss was so much more embarrassing because he was ready to give them the national championship. Because I'm like thinking, you were wrong, you idiot. But anyway, and so he goes on, and then so finally Ryan Clark gets to him and just eviscerated them and lit them up and saying, are you kidding me? You want to say a game where a team wasn't even in the game, didn't even touch the other team, where the other team's coach getting pissed off if they're getting 5 yards, and you're all like, because you're all so soft, and Ohio State almost comes back against the team where they're the same, and their quarterback, and the guy there, Miami's got a better quarterback. And you want to pretend to live in these old days, yada yada, and it was funny, but I just happened, I don't know what made me do it, but I happened to catch that and post it and on Twitter and X, whatever. 2 million views, dude.
Yeah.
That blew my mind, that how funny some things just go viral.
Yeah, especially when what's being stated is the obvious answer to the stupidity, like you suggested there, that Cam Newton and Feinbaum had said during that take. I thought it was funny when I heard the call playback that Don Fisher even kind of chirped at Feinbaum in his radio broadcast of the Rose Bowl, which was kind of unique. That was unique to hear.
Ironically, I need to go back on one of the episodes that Don was on with me. I brought Feinbaum up, and he had some great comments then. I should have clipped them and sent them out, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't do it simply because I didn't want to put Don in that position. But if I get the opportunity this week, if they win, possibility that it might resurface is all I'm going to say. There's a possibility it could resurface, which is great. But man, I bet things are just popping back in Indiana. They are popping all over the state, especially in Bloomington. Man, Bloomington will be jacked come Friday night. Again, talked about this yesterday with Kyle Neddenrip. Many Indiana basketball games have been rescheduled just so they do not conflict with this game. Indiana high school basketball is being rescheduled for Indiana football.
Yeah, that's the sign the times have ended. Because you would
say a sign of the apocalypse. That's what Kyle Neddenrip said. It was it's kind of funny, but it's great. But it's so weird because for a state that is unquestionably the king of basketball states in this country,
right?
They have an insatiable love for football. When the Colts came to Indianapolis, they were immediately loved, and they sucked. And then when they sucked, oh no, we suck again. When they sucked again, the fans didn't leave.
No,
they're there. That the Colts have a great fan base. Football in this state. So there's football there. Indianapolis produces a lot of talent, and not just Indianapolis, but
right.
There's a lot of talent that comes out of there. So captains have been named, Coach, the honorary captains. I'm a little I forget the guy for Oregon. He's one of their Hall of Famer running backs, which makes sense. Indiana, it's Kyle Schwarber. And love Schwarbs. He's awesome, badass. Most relevant current Indiana athlete, I guess. But there's a plethora of Indiana football players.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised.
I understand, like Randall L., he's busy. He's in the Bears. They're in the playoffs. How about Trick Green? I mean, the dude was a 12-year NFL quarterback. Come on. Why what the hell? To me, that reiterates that the lack of football background for Indiana, which I granted that there is, but I mean, yeah, I just think I think that I don't want to say it was disrespectful to the former IU greats, but I think that they should have gone with a former IU football player personally. I don't know who made that decision, or what went into it, but that's just my take on that. Not that anybody cares.
No, I agree. I was kind of surprised by that as well, just because of, like you said, there's been a lot of tremendous Indiana football players through the years that you could go down a list of very prominent players that's played in the league that would be honored to be a part of something like that. And I don't think it was a Cignetti decision. I don't think that.
No, I don't either.
And, but I don't know the reasoning behind that decision.
Hey, let's take not to interrupt you, but let's go ahead and take a quick break. I think we've got Yoman coming up here to join us soon. It's crazy here, but appreciate you guys being with us. We're back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is Fun Day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your... Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. Get more for your money at Andy. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, here on this Thursday of Peach Bowl week. We're here in Atlanta, but not just in Atlanta, at the College Football Hall of Fame, and it is a beautiful hall. I'm joined by Yoman Brown, the VP of Marketing and Communications for the hall, and I know that there, like I said earlier, there may be some Indiana people, not Hoosier fans, but still sore about losing this thing from South Bend, but this is where it belongs. You guys have done an incredible job. You walk in and you hit that wall of helmets, and that's just the beginning. The trophies, these unbelievable displays. It's a great place and a great location every year too. So it's a much better setup. So sorry, South Bend guys, that this is where it belongs, man.
Well, I don't think we want to use the word sorry. We are very thankful for the folks in Indiana. We just built on the legacy that they helped create and help start. And what we've done is tried to really amplify what was done before us. And, you know, even some of the things, some of your guests and listeners, they'll be in town this weekend. And we became the first museum in North America last year to integrate AI into the guest experience. So when you see that helmet wall, it's the first sign of personalization. When they come sign in, they start connecting and they'll light up the IU helmet or whatever school they choose. And then throughout the building, it will connect you as a super fan posing with the Heisman Trophy. You guys know something about that here recently. So, you know, it's a lot to be entertained. It's about 90-minute experience here.
I can imagine. First of all, where in the world do you all store all the artifacts? Because I know that there has to be an unbelievable amount that aren't even on this is probably a.
So this only represents about 20% of what we have on display, maybe not even that. And, you know, if my, recollection is correct, but we have over 1 million artifacts. And, you know, we are partnered with, the Georgia World Congress Center here, where a lot of the fan engagement activities are. So we have a plethora of items that, we rotate out and we make it kind of topical. Right now, we're highlighting 90 years of the Heisman. So we brought out a lot of those artifacts, associated with the Heisman, and we rotate exhibits. So when people come to the Hall of Fame, we want to make sure it's new and exciting each and every time they come here.
It is spectacular. Like I said, I'm joined by Yeoman Brown, the VP of Marketing and Communications for the College Football Hall of Fame. And it's something whenever you're in Atlanta, going through Atlanta, I know that there's a ton of, Indiana has the second largest living alumni base in the world of any school, by the way. Tons of them in Florida, all down through the South. I know we have a lot of listeners on social media that are down here, but that's what's going to allow them to take this town over, unfortunately for Oregon.
No, that is a good thing. One of the things that we call it here in Atlanta a group project. One of the things that we, kind of fashion ourselves is our Hartsville-Jackson Airport, right? It's the connectivity to the world, being the busiest airport. So a lot of these Indiana fans are going to come in and out, have great access. But the beauty of the Hall of Fame, when they get downtown in what we call the Centennial Olympic Park District, hey, they don't even need a car. Sorry to some of the rental car places, but they can lodge, eat, enjoy attractions like the Hall of Fame, and they are a stone's throw away from where the game will be held tomorrow night.
That is, you can walk to virtually everything. That it is true, and everything is so convenient. There's restaurants, there's everything. It's akin to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is one. We are very partial to Indianapolis as being one of the great sports cities in this country, as is Atlanta. And I mentioned earlier, tons of former Indiana athletes from the ATL area, man. Basketball, football, doesn't matter. There have just been a bunch over the years that have come from down this way.
Well, what I'll tell you,
and as you mentioned, you weren't one. You played at Morehouse. Now, I'm going to say, was that football?
Baseball.
Okay. I was
Going
to say, feel like you got a little running back here.
I got a little in me, but as I think back, the Hall of Fame is where I am, and I used to work, with the Atlanta Hawks in town. And one of my favorite coaches when I worked at the Hawks was Mike Woodson. So he used to sing Indiana's, praises all the time. And I know he was recently you guys coach up there, but there's so many good people in Atlanta who've gone through, Indiana, IU and stuff like that. So, we really appreciate, and we try to share the Southern hospitality.
Doing a great job of it. Did you work with Tree Rollins?
I did not. I
did.
See? Look at that connective tissue.
How about this was I was a sports information director for they revamped the old ABA league. And there used to be a Kentucky Colonels, but they were in Louisville, and they kind of revamped that team. And he was the GM. I got to tell you.
It's not too many people work harder than the SIDs, I'll tell you, man. So you had your work cut out.
Especially for a upstart team like that. Yeah, like in an area where you're going against Kentucky, Louisville, and Indiana basketball already. It's like, yeah, we need something else. But no, working next to him was wild. I'm 6'1". I'm not giant, but I'm not small. My man Tree Rollins is 7'1", and there's just something about a 7-foot human that's not skinny. He was not Manute Bol.
Wonder where he got that nickname from, huh?
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
He grew like a tree.
Exactly.
And he's from Georgia. I forget where in Georgia.
I forgot where he's from, but Tree is from here. Yeah.
Yeah. But a great guy, good guy. He was a good guy. So yeah, I love that. But and then of course, I'm thinking back of one of Larry Bird's great games when they were playing the Hawks, and when it's one of those nights where he was insane, and the guys on the end of the Hawks bench were laughing so hard, and they ended up getting fined because he was hitting all those crazy shots. It was great.
It's hard to talk about, the whole Hawks and Celtics rivalry down here. We always find ourselves on the other end of it, but thanks to Mr. Bird, it's
all fun stuff though, man. It's all great. What great basketball that was, and it's just a great basketball city. And actually, you guys, another Indiana connection right now. Michael Penix, former quarterback in Indiana, for this team that played in a national championship game, not for Indiana, unfortunately, but he's here with Atlanta, hurt right now, but it's just yet another Indiana connection. Crazy.
It's a lot of Indiana connections here, and all the best to him with his recovery. And the Falcons are looking for a new coach, and hey, it might be another Indiana connection. You never know.
Don't know, boy. Now you just got yourself in trouble, boy.
Hey,
because
that's a good segue, right? That's how your business works, right?
Because it's funny you say that, because with what was it, Black Tuesday, where everybody got fired?
Yeah.
I'm like, does anybody have a job left? But I was like, forget college. I'm like, is the pros coming? I don't think he'd leave. I think he loves what he's doing, how he's doing it, where he's doing it. When people were thinking that he might leave to go someplace because, they can off. I'm like, no. I said, he is doing it where he was told it cannot be done. He's doing it, and he's kicking butts and taking names.
I think a part of that too is, if you look at the makeup of it, some folks love to mentor young men and be in that position. And you can't put a price tag on that. And that's what strikes me as really, having people in the right place for that reason.
Well, and you look at the talent on this Indiana team, and I shouldn't use the word talent, ranked talent, how they were ranked when they were coming out of high school. Indiana has never had a 5-star ever in the program. They've got 7 4-stars. They're playing these teams that are just like loaded, but Indiana is doing crazy things. But we don't have to talk about the game. Let's talk about the Hall. What else do you guys do? I mean, this has to be your old Super Bowl of the year.
It is our Super Bowl of the year. Not only that, but it's just, we take personalization to another level. And the biggest thing that we do is, from the moment people come into the building, we have, like you alluded to earlier, a 3-story helmet wall, and people will not believe all of the, what I would call, Easter eggs. You can find something about every team throughout this building. It is 95,000 square feet, 3 floors, and people have a blast in here.
How can you not? You have time to stick around?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we've got another segment to do. We got to jump out here. We've got more coming up. Appreciate everybody being with us. We're coming to you from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, GA. Back with more right after these messages. Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. Get more for your money at Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, here on this Thursday of Peach Bowl week, semifinal for the college football playoff. Indiana, number 1 against number 5 Oregon. We're in Atlanta, and that will take place at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today, we're at the College Football Hall of Fame, though, a spectacular, beautiful place, and it doesn't matter if you're here for the game or when you're coming through on vacation, or all of you people that I know that live down here in Georgia or live in Florida, stop by. You will be well worth it, because there is always something, and there's something for everybody and every team. And right now, you mentioned earlier, you guys are doing, I'm joined by Yoman Brown, the VP of Marketing and Communications for the Hall. You guys are doing, celebrating the Heisman. Very apropos, since Indiana is featuring the most recent Heisman winner, their first ever.
Yeah, I think we're doing a little foreshadowing. We had his jersey and cleats and everything on display for folks to come check out that memorabilia. But, I mean, one heck of a season. And, you know, to say you're a Heisman Trophy winner is one thing. But, you know, to have that kind of milestone year, the 90th year, I bet you that's something he and his family and Hoosier fans will remember forever.
Absolutely. And I saw that in the display that you have, it looked like Antoine Randall L's jersey from back in the day.
There's
Currently,
a name, yeah.
He would have probably been here, except he's kind of busy right now. He's now with the Bears, and they are going to be taking on the Packers in a NFL playoff game. So unfortunately, he can't be here. I was surprised. I talked about earlier, the honorary captains. I don't know how they choose those, but for Oregon, they've got one of their great Hall of Fame running backs, and for Indiana, they've got Kyle Schwarber, the baseball player. And I'm like, man, Swarms is great, but you got Trent Green. I'm like, why don't you bring in a football player, man?
Here's the question, though, that I'll pose. If you win, do you keep him for the following week?
I don't think that Signetti has any superstitions, but I say that with one caveat. If you know the story, when he moved into Bloomington,
okay,
there's one chair that he brought that he refused to get rid of, that his wife begged him to get rid of. It is a putrid green reclining chair, and there's a picture of him. It was a picture of him in the paper, but still has it. I don't know if that's superstition or if it's just comfort or what it is, but
it could be a hybrid of both.
Yeah,
you got to play offense and defense, so you got to play both sides of it. So
it's kind of funny.
And it's a good story to tell.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of funny to not accidentally be superstitious.
Exactly.
I do remember when I was playing. I'm like, these are the socks I was wearing. I got this. I got to make sure I got to mark it. I got to make sure that's off the left foot and crazy stuff, man. But you guys have some great displays out right now for anybody that is in town or still coming down, because I know a lot of people will not get here until maybe till tomorrow. We'll be staying over a day. Definitely come by. You've got some stuff featuring Fernando right now. I just use one name with him now. He's on one name level.
That's when you know you've arrived. When you get the one name, and it's akin to, and it's a tribute to what you guys have done as in what I say organization now. They run like organizations and, from the top down. So, having that one name goes a long way.
It certainly does. You're open from 10 to 5. Is that just right now? Are the hours different other times?
We're 10 to 5 every day, so when you guys come down here, fans come down here for the weekend or whenever time, we're open 10 to 5 daily, and you can come get in, enjoy it. It takes, depending on your fandom, the average customer comes in and spends about 45 to 60 minutes. Now, if you're a diehard like myself and really want to dig into the history, because we have a lot of it, you can spend 90 minutes to 2 hours in this place and come back for more.
I was going to say, and then come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because you always miss something with whatever, like you mentioned, with the helmets. Also, I think gift shop downstairs.
We have a gift shop downstairs, and as I came in early this morning, getting ready for a fantastic weekend, they have a lot of stuff, relating to the game coming off of those trucks outside. So they got a lot of merch for you guys coming in.
Bring a piece of 2 up. We'll show it off later on, but
definitely,
I'm sure it is great. That's something I probably will pick up. I don't pick up a lot of merch because don't wear schools and all that, but I like unique stuff. And the College Football Hall of Fame is definitely unique. What is next or new coming up for the Hall what happens after this?
What happens after this is we get ready for our big season, right?
This is not the big season.
This is what catapults into the big season. So the way our kind of calendar works in August, what we call week 0 in college football. We kick off the season.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Then, last year we had the championship in Atlanta. We were the first 2-time city to host the CFP up under the new format. And then when the season ends around King Holiday, with the championship this year down in Miami, everyone needs their football fix. We're open year round. We keep that fandom going. One of our mottos is the teams you love and the teams you love to hate. Hey, I get paid to talk smack all year. So when I say it's our season, football might be ending and might be, hopefully for these listeners, your team wins and we're crowned the national championship in 2 weeks, but we keep it open year round.
As it should be, man. It is a shrine. And definitely, like I said, I know people there's tons of people that go down to the panhandle of Florida, like Destin and that area. So right on your way, man. And if you don't stop at Buc-ee's. Don't stop at any of those places. Don't waste time doing that. Come to the College Football Hall of Fame and get a memory that is going to last. That Buc-ee's burrito will be through.
What is it, the Buc-ee's brisket or something like that?
Dude, I've been there one time, and it was actually when I was down here last time. Indiana played Auburn in basketball a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I'd ever heard of it or seen it. Yeah. I'm a Whataburger guy.
Yeah.
And we don't have them up there. But I'm looking forward. I know there's some.
They're here.
I know they're here. Last time.
Cobb Parkway is the closest one. I'll tell you about. And I will tell you, when you guys come through and come to Atlanta, one of the things that we do that I think will just resonate with your fans, we have regular self-guided tour. But we also do a VIP guided tour. You ask about, which is only like a $5-10 upcharge. You ask about all the other things and memorabilia we have. We can personalize that tour with one of our historians and curator and walk you through the exhibit, show you memorabilia. We do it well.
Wow. That sounds like a great family or any group or a team outing. That would be incredible. It's great stuff, man. I cannot thank you enough, man.
Appreciate you,
man. You have been great. Everybody here is great, by the way. They have been so incredible. Brandon has been great. Dylan has been great.
Dennis and all the historians.
Everybody.
Those guys are great.
It's been awesome. The hospitality is incredible. Can't thank you enough, man.
Jim, thank you. And thank you to your listeners. We enjoy it.
It's an honor to be here. Trust me. Just looking around me, and I haven't even gotten to walk. I haven't gotten to walk around yet, but trust me, I will be. I don't care about those press conferences. I've heard all that they got to say. The talking's done, baby. It's talk. It's time to make the walk.
It's time to hit somebody.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Yohan Brown joining me here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. I'll just keep on rolling here. But a game, since you're here, game's coming up. First of all, tomorrow night, you've got Ole Miss, the upstart now, which they would have not been considered an upstart,
against
Miami. Well, because of the coaching change.
Correct.
And they've got Charlie Weiss, who they're letting stay, and the running backs coach. The other coaches have been called back home. But I didn't think that they had a chance to beat Georgia. And so I'm like, okay. So Miami looks pretty damn good with that defensive line, and their offense is solid. I don't think that Ole Miss will win, but I hope to do. My daughter goes to Ole Miss, and her dream game would be for these two teams to meet. So maybe I said, manifest it, girl.
So you need to go back to some superstition and bring it home for your daughter. That's what it's all about.
I should have worn that shirt.
See,
I left it. It's home in the drawer. Ole Miss Dad. It's home in the drawer. What kind of a dad am I? Oh man!
Just pull out one of those statements for how much you're paying to go down there. I think that'll do some justice as well.
So, what are your thoughts on that game?
I'm interested to see how Miami's defensive line plays against the quarterback. Because when I watched Trinidad run around against Georgia, I didn't think that was going to happen. Georgia is so defensively stout on their front line, for the last decade or so. I want to see, that's the matchup, and I think that's going to dictate the game.
Absolutely. Then, of course, we've got the entree, baby. Friday night in the ATL, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What a beautiful facility that is, by the way.
Arthur Blank and his team, they've done a phenomenal job. And, I will tell you, unseasonably, but the weather is perfect this weekend.
It's a lot better than it was in Pasadena. Before you joined me.
Oh, we heard. Yeah, yes.
These are the shoes that I wore, but I was on the field the whole time.
Were you ankle deep in water?
Water, cut grass, everything. I was like, man, these were my favorite shoes. But
they lied to me growing up. They said it never rains in Southern California.
It didn't rain on the Rose Bowl, and it hasn't for 70 years. They almost broke that. But Friday night, we've got Indiana, Oregon. I don't know if you can give a guess, but what are your thoughts on the game?
My thoughts on the game is it is two really, extremely well-coached teams. I'm interested in, I get to sometimes talk to coaches and things like that. I want to see who makes that play early to define and set a tone. A lot of neutral sites, give credence to a lot of different things, not like playing at home where you can have the crowd favor, not have the crowd favor and things like that. But I want to see who makes that play early in the first half to really set the tone. And I think that's who might get the crowd on their side.
You sound like Fernando, man. He's a born politician. Have you heard him talk?
Yeah, I have.
Man.
He's being compared a lot to a nice guy we used to have in Atlanta, old Matt Ryan. So,
who's up for a head coaching job, I think.
It seems like everybo's up for a head coaching job.
Well, how can you not be with all those
Jim,
jobs
I think
open?
I heard your name mentioned a couple of weeks ago, so you never know.
Token. I was a token for something, man. They just had to get me in there because I'm out. But I don't want to keep it, brother. I know you guys got a lot going on.
Enjoyed it, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yoman Brown, the VP of Marketing and Communications here at the College Football Hall of Fame, a destination that you have to put on your calendar. More coming up from the College Football Hall of Fame here in Atlanta after these messages. Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas from mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. Get more for your money at Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Thursday from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia. Also site of the Peach Bowl and the CFP semifinal between the Hoosiers and the Oregon Ducks. Coach Griff back, and Coach, what a great place. I don't know if you've ever been here, but such an incredible display.
Yeah, it's a testament to what Atlanta's done to that, to expand upon what was up originally in South Bend years and years ago. But they've taken it to another level, as we've seen, and it's one of those things that it is truly a treat. I have not been there. I know several people that have been, and they have raved about it because of its uniqueness. And it's not a traditional Hall of Fame type of venue. So I think it's one of those things. It's definitely worth everyone's time if they're heading down through the Atlanta area to stop off and check it out because of what is all there. And I think that what they've done there in terms of making it a true fan experience is kind of unique as well. So definitely something that's worthwhile stopping off and having a few chances to view some of the memorabilia that goes back in time to when college football first started many, many moons ago to where it's at today. So unique in that respect. So I would encourage all to go see the College Football Hall of Fame there in Atlanta. I know the Hoosiers got a big road win last night. They're in Maryland. It was a little touch and go there for a little bit. And they finally got themselves in a position where they could get on a little bit of a run and separate themselves. Of course, another night of struggling behind the arc. That was so unique in the first half where their 3-point shooting was atrocious, but the foul line was what their saving grace was. I think they were 16 of 16 at the foul line last night. So any way you slice it, it's a good road win for Indiana. And
talking basketball?
Well, we threw a little bit of the game in there last night. I was just
I'm glad you did, because I thought of that a minute ago. I'm like, how crazy is this yet again? Indiana, yesterday, it was an afterthought. I forgot about it until pretty late. And then they win last night, and it's just now being brought up.
It was unique, though.
It was a good road win.
It was unique, was what I was talking about. Their 3-point shooting was atrocious in the first half, and their only saving grace was the fact that they were perfect from the foul line.
Well, that's something that has helped them a lot. There's been a few games where they really fell off there, but for the most part, they've been pretty good there. But that was, I called that a must-win game.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You should never have to call a game in early January a must-win game, but it is and was, because it's a road game. This team is going to have limited opportunities to win road games.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to go to Michigan and win. I don't see them going to Michigan State and winning. I don't see them going to Purdue and winning. I don't see them going to Illinois, Then you got to worry about playing Michigan at home, Purdue at home, Illinois at home. You're going to have tough home games. And they've already lost on the road at Minnesota. So when you have opportunities where you're playing a team that you're simply better than, you got to win that damn game, because if you don't, it's very difficult to make that up.
Well, and it's like you said, when on paper you are better than the opponent across from you is one thing. Going out and proving it is the next thing. You have to have that killer instinct that you can beat those type of teams, because like you said, you're going to have a tough schedule that's going to come punch you right in the nose, like it always does in the Big Ten. I mean, this isn't anything unique to the Big Ten, but these are the months of January and February that really set you up on whether you're a potential tournament team or not, and opportunities to get big wins. But if you don't get the wins that you're supposed to, you're putting yourself right behind the 8 ball. And last night they were able to get the W on the road, and that was I think they're 12-3 overall right now, if I'm not mistaken. But good hard fought win for them when they weren't shooting well from the arc.
And that's what those ones are. Those are sometimes gritty wins that you got to just grit out. And that's what you got to do. All right, that's enough basketball talk.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's all you get right now. Hey, I'm telling you, until this deal's done, no. Although, well, let's stick on there for a second. Their next game is Saturday. It might be their toughest home game they have of the season, and 90% of the media that normally would be there will not be there because they're going to be here still. I don't get back. Most of us drove, and the game's at noon. If it had been a late game, it would have been a different story. But it's not. It's a noon game, so that's going to be different. And Nebraska is kicking the crap out of people. They beat Michigan State. They're ranked in the top 10. They're 15-0, undefeated halfway through their season.
What a job that guy's done.
He's got but Nebraska was so patient with him. He's been there for 7 years or something now.
Yeah, they've given him plenty of time.
But you have to. Nebraska's they did the right thing. Most schools would have canned him probably 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, right.
And now look where they are. And Nebraska, there's no way they have a great NIL or for basketball. Hell, they can't get it together for football, and they're a football deep school. I mean, they've sold out that damn stadium since Abraham Lincoln was in office, I think. So, but we'll talk more about that next week. Let's talk about the Hoosiers and what they've added in the portal over this week. I've talked immensely about saying half of these guys probably were not even recruited. They recruited themselves to Indiana. Like, hey, I want some of that, because as you can see by the talent level coming in, the guy, you're getting the tight end from Miami. You're getting the wide receiver from Michigan State. You're getting Josh Hoover, which we expected Josh to be coming. And there will be a quarterback competition between Josh Hoover and Alberto Mendoza. Don't fool yourself. But that's one Josh Hoover should win because of his experience. And that's something that Kurt Cignetti looks for and covets, and what fans have to understand. Josh Hoover has, 3 seasons of starting at quarterback, I think.
Yeah.
He's thrown for 9,000 yards. So, yeah, that experience is what Kurt wants. And I know that when Alberto does start, he's going to start without having that starting experience. But you see Cignetti trying to get him in there as often as he can. I think that normally you might see him a little more earlier next season, but at the same time, Josh Hoover has to get all the reps he can get because of being new. So Alberto's fine. He's got 3 years of eligibility, people. That's the plan, is for him to have 2 years left and to be the guy for 2 years. And he could be the first 2-year quarterback under Kurt Signetti. And I think that he probably will be.
Well, look at it this way. Alberto, when he, whatever that time period is where he gets that job, and who knows, we'll see what all happens. He's essentially like a transfer quarterback in the portal anyway when that time comes because of his maturity. Right. But the thing that Hoover excites me for a lot of reasons, outside of, his ability to throw the football. He's mechanically sound. He can run the ball. He's got ability to run it. So that gives another dynamic into the offense. And Signetti is about competition. It's all about the competition that he can create at every spot on his ball club, because the more competition you have, the better off you will be. And that is why this Indiana team has just thrived all season long, whether their one guy was out there or their number 2 guy was out there, because of the competitiveness of this lineup that's out there. And you can see it when guys step into the role, next man up, they don't drop. They don't drop in their production. That's the uniqueness of it. That's at some positions, it doesn't hurt you. Now, quarterback's a little different. Hoover's a good player and all that. I'm going to tell you this. The 2 players that I was excited about outside of Josh, one was Nick Marsh from Michigan State. When he jumped in the portal, I had said on the tailgate, that would be the guy that I would target right now. Now, that being said, I'm sure there's going to be some things there that he's going to have to improve upon at Indiana that he got away with at Michigan State, but that's what's going to make the kid better. But he's a big-time receiver on the outside. And the Brockshot kid from Miami, who's a Fort Wayne area kid up here in the north at Leo High School. Indiana wanted him bad last year, and they almost got him. He went down there, found out it was a little bit too far from home. This kid, I think, will be a bona fide NFL type of tight end once he goes through the program with Signetti, because his work ethic is great, and he's big enough to block at the point of attack, but he's also athletic enough that you can sit him out in the, split him out and have him run routes down the field. So this, to me, is a huge get for Indiana at the tight end position. So outside of some other guys that they've picked up, I love Turbo Richard, running back from Boston College. I think he's going to be another addition to a backfield that's going to be dynamite with Martin kid. I mean, again, we can sit here and talk all day long about what they've added, but it's all adding competition to the positions that they already have there that's going to make them that much better.
Yeah, and Kenneth commenting on the comments that make no mistake that Hoover came here to start. Well, of course he did. So did the kid from Arizona 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever it was. They come here to start, and I don't think that he's going to be the starter. I do, but there still will be a competition, and you never know. I mean, who knows? But no, I expect Hoover to be the guy. My God, like I said, he's thrown for 9,000 yards. He's got 3 years of experience. Experience is what Signetti covets, because what you see with this Indiana team, and I've seen some other national guys talk about it. They're old as hell. This team is old as hell.
Yeah.
They've got old guys. They've got these 4 or 5 year guys, across the board, and mixed in with some guys that like Charlie Becker. He's a homegrowner. Recruited, but he knows what to add. He could not have put it any more succinctly: production over potential. It just, he knows what he's doing. And those guys know that they have a unique opportunity. It's kind of like a last opportunity, but it's an opportunity to win. And everybody thinks that all these moves are made for money. They're not. Josh Hoover did not leave TCU for more money. You think that they don't have money at Texas Christian? You're out of your damn mind. First of all, they're in Texas. Every Texas school has got like $10 billion for football. But he came, in my opinion, to directly play for Kurt Signetti?
Oh, there's no question. And I think that's the one unique thing that Signetti has to talk to about a kid about. He doesn't promise him anything. He promises him to say, look at what we've done at the quarterback position. You come here, you're going to have a chance to develop, but you're going to compete for it because that's the way we do things around here. And if you don't want to compete for it, then we don't want you. That's the one thing. And you win with juniors and seniors. Let's face facts. That's why you win games, is because the older guys that you've had that have played in the wars, that understand what it takes to win day in and day out. Now, they took Brock Schock for one simple reason. They recruited the kid, even though that he's a redshirt freshman and probably didn't have much tape on him playing at Miami. But the fact that they recruited him had everything to do with why they took him. Probably won't see any other guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are freshmen that are in the portal right now that are 4 and 5 stars that probably Indiana will not take because they didn't recruit them, number one, and they have nothing to verify. And if you're a 4 or 5 star and you're leaving Ohio State, let's say, which they've got a few that are in the portal right now, that goes to tell you that they're probably not as good as they were rated out of high school in that respect. So, again, I think Indiana's being wise with their money. It's interesting that Mark Cuban has stepped up to the table and made sizable.
No number was mentioned other than bigger than last year.
Bigger than last year, and they were a lot happier.
Who was a lot happier?
Indiana was a lot happier with what he put forward. But my understanding is that Signetti has forged a relationship with Cuban, and that's why he's invested in the program now. And that's the key component to why you get people on board is you invest in them, and then ultimately they invest in you. So
that is, I mean, if you look around, you're dead on. John Calipari with the Chicken Man, Purdue Chicken, and probably the Waltons down there. Each place has got these, Texas Tech's got Cody Campbell, but he's more of wanting to see it. Miami's got their big money guy, but does everybody? No, everybody may not. I'll tell you who must. What the hell's going on at Northwestern? They're bringing guys. They're brought in the freaking Michigan State's quarterback. How the hell did they get him? They got Chip Kelly at OC. How the hell's that happening? I'm like, what? They're building an $850 million stadium that's only going to hold 37,000 people, but I'm sure
it opens next year, I think, right?
Yeah, but Northwestern, they're staying in the fray.
Oh yeah, they're gearing up for that new stadium, and to bring, like you said, they're bringing in talent. They brought. I was a little surprised with the Chip Kelly hire in some respects, but I get it. But I've seen that too. Their portal additions have been strong, and I think they're gearing towards that. And they had some big wins this year at Northwestern. You look at it, they went to Penn State and beat Penn State on the road, and they were a good ball club, just like they were a year ago. So they're not that far off. They can get some consistency on offense. They're going to be a team that, is going to have a chance to rattle some cages in the Big Ten next year. But again, you got to be happy where Indiana's at in the midst of chaos, like you pointed out earlier.
Happy? Are you kidding me? People have to be just because not only of where they are right now, which is, it has to be a dream for every Indiana fan. I don't care if you're a basketball or football fan, for every Indiana fan, period. What is happening is, and people can argue, I don't care, but I would like to know. And Mike, of course, he immediately mentioned the Miracle on Ice. I still think this is the biggest sports story ever because it's not one game. That was
right.
Dude, this is a team that first of all, they're losing his program ever. So you got that going for you. But the teams that they beat along the way this year, they've gone undefeated. They're on the precipice of history. No one has ever gone 16-0 and won a national championship. No one has ever done the things they've done. They've gone through Iowa. They've gone through Penn State. They've gone through Oregon. They've gone through Ohio State. They've gone through Alabama. It's historic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. Sit down, Michael Schumann.
It's a beautiful thing to witness and be a part of, watching it happen in front of our eyes. But again, you're correct in the excitement that's going on in Bloomington, but also in the state of Indiana, and even on the floor of the Senate, where Jim Banks recognized Fernando Mendoza and his Heisman in front of the Senate the other day. So a lot of fanfare for sure.
I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't gone to the Pope yet. I mean, he's working on it with his priest, Michael Schumann from the Daily Hoosier, sitting down joining me. Did you just get to town?
No, got in last night. Where
the hell were you?
Where the hell were you?
I was at the media availability.
I was there too. Happened to be a few hundred people there. We might have missed each other.
I didn't see you. I couldn't believe that. But the amount of media, first of all, is crazy. I was not in that scrum down there, but I'm like, I figured it was pretty much a lot of the same that's already been said, but probably a little more jovial between, because the two coaches were there together. What was said, it was fun. I wasn't there.
That you hit it. It was fun. Like I sense a real respect and camaraderie between Lanning and not Saban. Shows what I was going to say. Signetti, I think, because they came from the same tree, they know what each other's all about, and you can just sense that, even though there's a big age gap between those two guys, that they really have a lot of respect for each other, and they were just having fun cutting it up with each other.
Yeah, Lanning, as you can tell, if Indiana fans didn't have to play against him, all that, he's a guy you'd love. I mean, he's the guy that looks like you'd want to play for. He's one of those coaches, and he's a winner. So I can see that, because it takes someone of that caliber to kind of bring that out of Signetti.
Right.
Because he tries to keep, I don't want to say a wall, but he's this mystique maybe between everybody else.
He's not going to do that if he doesn't respect somebody.
Exactly. And we don't, I don't think we measure up.
No. You might make fun of me, but that's about it.
This is going to be incredible. First of all, this facility, the Hall of Fame here, is awesome. That was Angelo Pizzo's luggage. It just fell. He brought it up here and left, and was supposed to be coming back to do the show with us. So hopefully he'll make it back. But thoughts on the game, man? Here he comes. Thoughts on the game?
Well, first of all, I saw Angelo downstairs, and I thought, is he here to write the script?
I got him here.
All right.
Actually, I texted him. He said it ain't happening.
Thoughts on the game, or I just expect a lot more of the same as what we saw out in Eugene. Just two great competitive teams, probably going to go down to the fourth quarter, going to come down to explosives and special teams and turnovers and things like that. It's really hard to get a lot of separation from either one of these teams. So I certainly don't expect a blowout.
Michael Schumann from the Daily Hoosier. You know him, buddy. Appreciate you.
Good to see
you. I'm sure I'll see you again. Hey, we've got more coming up. We're back with the man, Angelo Pizzo, from Hoosiers, from Rudy, from Mile America, so many more, right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming, or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Ball in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to
Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your... Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. Get more for your money at Andy.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday, coming to you from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta as we're preparing for the Peach Bowl, the one of the semifinals for the college football playoffs between number 1 Indiana and number 5 Oregon, a Big Ten showdown again. Joined now by Angelo Pizzo. Angelo, you got to take in the presser downstairs between Coach Lanning and Coach Signetti, and we talked about, they've been asked the same question so many times, but today they were on there together, which I'm sure was kind of good because they probably added a little more fun to that level.
They did, and I must say that it was very clear they have tremendous respect for each other and tremendous respect for their teams and each other's teams. And this is not to take anything away from Kalen DeBoer, who I know and I like, and I think he's a great coach.
Yeah,
nothing to take away from him. But in his pre-game press conference before the Rose Bowl, they asked Ras's same questions, and I thought the way in which he described Indiana came across as perfunctory. It was all the right things. He said, they're really good in this, that, kind of listed their attributes. But you felt like it was something he knew he needed to say, whereas Dan Lanning was 100% organic, authentic, and you believed he felt that way, not that he just had to say those things. So I'm impressed with that guy.
And plus, there's probably a little SEC Big Ten thing going on.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think that Coach Sig operates that way.
No, not Sig. I was talking with Kalen, although he's a super nice guy either.
Yeah,
so
I'm not, they were Big Ten. He was Big Ten. I don't think he's bought into the SEC thing quite a bit. I don't think he was happy with his team.
I don't either. It's not his style of team. If you just look at what he had at Washington when he was there, that's them. The electric, lights out, Roma Dunze, Michael Penix, just electric type of offense. And that was not what they had.
Yes, and to give him credit, he's playing with Saban's players, and Saban had a totally different style.
Exactly.
That even Nick admitted to and asked people to give him a break because, the Alabama, the rage is intense down there. Their poor guy, I don't think he even wants to come out of his house.
Quite the opposite of where they are now. I mean, you've got Paul Feinbaum. He's probably having a heart attack every day. They're beside themselves, don't know what to do. Yeah. But the Big Ten is on the precipice of potentially, if either Indiana or Oregon can get this done, of winning a third straight national championship with 3 different teams. That would be just really putting an exclamation point on the fact that the SEC might be good, but they're no longer great.
Well, I think it also is probably digs a little deeper when you have a traditional bottom dweller like Indiana win the national championship as opposed to Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon or Penn State.
I don't know that people realize how big of a sports fan and I use sports fan that you really are. Of course, most well known for Hoosiers, and how could you not be one, if not the greatest sports movie of all time? Rudy, another one that's probably up there in the top 5. And everybody is, I texted and tweeted with Angelo and Fun, but about writing the script for this thing. And someone, Signetti mentioned, it'd make a great movie, but this would be almost a hard movie to write because everybody already knows everything, man.
Yeah, I mean, the real story is much better than any dramatic recreation of it. The only way you could pull it off is if you waited 20 years.
Yeah,
and you introduce the story to a new
Yes.
generation or a new
People
audience.
forget.
Yes, and like there was a gap between every sports movie I've
Right,
done
right.
and the time we make it. It'll make a hell of a documentary. I know someone's going to be doing that, and
Someone else mentioned
I know
that.
two books that are being written about it. But no, there's no way in which and it drives me nuts that ever since when Coach Sig made that comment about make a hell of a movie, my phone burned up.
I started laughing.
But no, there is no Hoosiers 2 coming from me. I feel sorry for anybody who tries to do it.
And I know you saw the poster because you sent it to me where
Yeah.
someone took the
Yeah.
basketball, put the football on, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah. It's fun.
If they could have,
Yeah.
maybe they could have had a little fake Jimmy Chitwood quarterback or something in it. Throw one in the back would have been funny. But no, it's been great. A movie that still holds. Oh my God, geez. Who doesn't watch it every time it comes on? It's just crazy. I know it's not something that you do, but it's just weird. But it's just one of those movies when it comes on. It's like, oh, okay, you're hooked. You're hooked already.
Well, listen, I mean, one of the things that has been interesting for me in this year is that the movies I've written that people know about, but I've also written a number of scripts that were sports related and haven't been made. But inevitably or invariably, there's always a coach. There has to be a coach. And one of my taglines that I say that I'm not doing sports movies anymore is because I've run out of locker room speeches to write. So, but in the case of the reason I bring all this up, these sports movies and the coaches, is I've really done a tremendous amount of thinking about what makes a great coach. And I really spent a lot of time around Bob Knight. And people ask me on a regular basis, what makes Coach Sig different? And I've given it a lot of thought, and I've done a lot of investigation, and I've thought about it. And it's not one thing, it's a series of things. And I will just, someone who is in the football program clued me in on something that I thought was fascinating about because I asked this person who's been part of the IU football program for over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's seen every head coach during that time. He said there's a period between spring ball and fall camp where coaches it's dead period. They can't recruit, they can't work with the players, they can't do much but, watch film or plan for the next, fall camp or the season. And he said, coaches come in, they show up, but nobody comes in at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. and leaves at 6 p.m. watching film 10 hours a day. I mean, he said he watches more film by 20 than any coach that I've ever seen at this program. And I said, is it just player evaluation? He said, no, it's not just player evaluation. He goes back and he looks at previous, and he looks also, and this is what I found fascinating. This is a guy who never settles. He said, yes, he has a plan, he has a system, but he always looking to make it better. He's always looking to tweak it. There was some team that went undefeated, Division III, and he watched every one of their games to try to figure out what made that team, so successful. And I found that fascinating.
I think it was Jeremy Gray. I heard telling a story the other day that he saw him watching something, and could tell it was like grainy a little bit. He's like, what are you watching there? And it was like Kent State from 2007. Yeah. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
never satisfied, never settle.
And everybody hears him say all of these what sound like cliches, but they're not. They're how he lives, walks, breathes, leads. Everything he does is built on all of those things that they say they talk about, and the team is bought in. How you can get 105 guys to buy in like that? That's amazing. Can
I tell you a quick Sig story? So I met him, and it was an event where not many people were there, and Scott Dolson introduced, this is the guy who did Hoosiers and Rudy. He said, I've never seen Rudy. I hate Notre Dame, and I'll always hate Notre Dame. Then I said, okay, that's fine. I hate Notre Dame too.
God.
You and I are the same, right?
Yeah, oh my God.
Then
It's a great movie, though.
he's like really straight, and he goes like this. But I hear it's a pretty good movie.
That is Signetti-esque, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
That's a
but
good
we
one.
actually end up talking for 10 or 15 minutes, and he actually has a wicked sense of humor.
Oh,
you can see it coming out, and
he will. Yeah, he hides it.
Yeah,
he definitely does.
But
And
when
he likes
he's
to have
loose,
fun.
he lets it go. His wife is the same way. She has great sense
And
of
that
humor
is
too.
great.
Yeah.
She is very unique as a coach's wife. I've met her she goes to the coaches show.
Yeah.
You see her out after the games, but it's very, I think that's part of the family atmosphere that Signetti doesn't sell, but incorporates into what he does.
People have been asking me, and
Angelo Pizzo, in case is with us,
thank
by the
you.
way.
People have asked me often. I said, well, with the success, aren't the big programs and everybody going to come after him and so on and so forth. And I had a really strong feeling we would do whatever it took to keep him here in terms of the contracts. But there was another ace card in the hole that I was aware of, because when I talked to Manette, she couldn't stop gushing over how much she loved Bloomington. And I knew that her love of Bloomington actually was going to be something special. She was not happy about leaving.
I'd heard that said a lot, but I had never heard it from someone who actually heard it from her.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. But I just go back to the fact that I knew that first year he did what nobody could do, where nobody could do it, and he loves that. I mean, he relishes that. But
you know what I was thinking, and this is a really interesting challenge looking forward. And of course, it's an exciting one, because he's done all of this with 1, 2, and 3-star kids. Okay. When we played Ohio State, they had 9 5-star players and 48 4-star players. We had 0 5-star players and 7 4-star players. Now that he's had success, players want to come.
Oh yeah,
and we're going to start getting those 4 and 5-star players. And one of the challenges, and I think that Kalen had to deal with this, is Alabama is filled with 5 and 4-star guys, and those were players that were gods in their high school. People were kissing their rear end, from the time they were 9, 10, 11, 12. So, it's hard to get those guys who are 5-star, most sought after, top 10, top 50, to come and sublimate or sit on the bench. So if you have 9 5s, between whatever the 64 and 5-star players, there's only 22 playing. So you've got some people on that bench who are 5-star kids. Yep. They're not happy, and that infects the team. So that will be a challenge that now he has to coach 4 and 5-star kids. But I think he doesn't just recruit to, physical ability. He recruits the kid. There's no question.
Character. He talks about character a lot. I mean, he talks about that with his staff. He talks about it in every aspect. And oh gosh, the staff. Wow, man. Brian Haynes and Mike Shanahan.
Amazing. Yeah.
I feel sorry for Tino Sunseri in a way, but I don't, because the minute he made that move to UCLA, I was thinking, what the hell are you doing?
You got off.
You could have gone on to any other school, and I would not have thought that.
You got off a rocket ship.
Not only did you get off a rocket ship, you got on a beat up piece of crap that was going down, and I'm like, why would you do that to there?
So that's interesting, because one of the things that somebody asked Coach Sig today was, why did it take you so long to become head coach? And he gave a really interesting answer. He said, I didn't choose to be an assistant coach for 30 years. He said, but the teams I was assistant coach with during that time didn't do well. The only program that I had when I was a recruiting coordinator, that was the only successful program I was involved in. And coaches, assistant coaches, are hired out of high functioning, successful
Success,
programs.
baby.
You know, and that's why it took him. That's why he took a chance on himself and went to Indiana, Pennsylvania. You know, at the age of 50.
And you talk about grinding. He never was in a hurry. You see guys that jump.
Yeah.
Man, he was loyal.
Yeah.
Another reason why I didn't think he would leave is he's loyal. He's just a loyal person. So just great to see. It's great to see the Rose Bowl, to see that thing filled with 80% Indiana fans. I was shocked.
You don't think it's going to be 80% here?
No, I think it's going to be 90.
Okay.
Seriously, because it's driving,
Yeah.
and Oregon, they're not coming. I
Yeah.
don't think. I think it's going to be a mad red house.
It's going to be a home game.
And it's indoors. It's
Yeah.
going to be closed. It's going to be super
Wasn't that
loud.
wasn't that crazy at Locust Oil with that the Big Ten championship?
all of it.
I felt like that team willed that energy willed Indiana to victory over Ohio State.
It's amazing to see the fan base
Yeah.
that just has boom
Been waiting for
grown.
this forever.
There are guys that have been Indiana football fans for 50 years, man.
Hey, listen to me. Our first house when we moved to Bloomington in 1953 was 1 block from the old stadium.
Oh, on 17th Street Stadium?
No,
Or
on
10th Street?
No, on 10th.
10th Street, rather, yeah.
10th and Jordan is what it was. And I started going to games when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. And one of the hallmarks, one of the things that I remember, and maybe I was 10 or 11, was my dad took me to all these games. I said, Dad, how come we always lose? And that really is the way in which you could say about Indiana football for ever since, the blip on the screen is 67 and I was there,
If you look at the record between, say, like Indiana and Michigan, the home and away records are really skewed different, because I think Indiana used to forego their home game with Michigan to take a payday to go play at Michigan.
because they had 5 times the
I mean, it's
capacity.
just nuts. But man, we're on in Bloomington, by the way, now 98.7 The
great,
Stone.
great,
So hometowner here, Bloomington native and resident Angelo Pizzo, as always, buddy. It's great. This is the first time we've got to do this together live.
Yeah.
So I really
I've always
appreciate
been on
you.
the phone with you. Yeah.
I know. And look forward to. I'm done. We're done after the show's over, baby. So I look forward to getting to relax and enjoy the day.
Yeah,
and
good.
take some of this in. But thank you, man. I appreciate
My
you.
pleasure.
Look forward to it. Enjoy the game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Angelo Pizzo joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio as we're coming to you from the College Football Hall of Fame. It has been an absolutely fun day for us here, and we're grateful for all of the hospitality they have shown us. Yoman Brown, the marketing VP of Marketing and Communications for the Hall, especially, and Dylan and Trevor as well for all of their help in doing this. Of course, Angelo Pizzo as well for stopping by and visiting with us. As you can see, if for those of you that are following on social media, right over my shoulder is the Anthony Thompson display back there. But I'm going to go around and check it all out, man. You guys have a great day. We'll be back with more coverage of the Peach Bowl tomorrow. I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.